G'day, it's Oscar. We are up to listening challenge question number 14. This comes from Jeff. And Jeff asked this very elegant question. Oscar, I struggle to listen for extended periods of time. How do I maintain my concentration? Jeff, think about your listening batteries. No different to your cell phone, your mobile phone, your handy. Whichever part of the world you're in, you have to recharge your phone on a regular basis. The same is true when it comes to our listening batteries. Now, a little commercial break from the neuroscience of listening. Here, just behind our skull, is the prefrontal cortex, the modern part of the brain. And listening is processed in complex collaborative workplace environments in working memory. And working memory is a finite resource. It is impossible to multitask and listen in collaborative, constrained, competitive environments. Typical workplace. You can task switch. That's not a problem. You can move from one task to another, but you can't be listening. Listening cognitively is difficult to do if you don't know how to listen and you don't know what to listen for. With these tips, Jeff, I think listening will become lighter and a lot more comfortable, and you'll be able to listen for extended periods of time. Tip number 1 is, are you ready to listen when you arrive at a conversation? Not enough of us prepare beforehand. Listening happens before, during, and after the conversation. And not unlike an orchestra that prepares by tuning their instruments for between 2 and 5 minutes before any performance, no matter if they performed in the same venue overnight, they go through a ritual of mutual progress and mutual respect for everybody in the orchestra. So before you arrive at a conversation, get yourself ready, Jeff, whether that's online or face-to-face. Try these 3 tips. Manage your electronic notifications. Now, I'm not saying switch them off or put them in silent. You manage them, but use the technology. Don't let the technology use you. Number 2, drink a glass of water before you go into the conversation. A hydrated body, it's going to be a listening body, and it will start to charge your listening battery so you can concentrate for a little bit longer. Number 3, just make sure you take 3 deep breaths before you go into the conversation. Now, Jeff, getting ready is half your battle. You will be able to stay and concentrate a lot longer. Cognitively, we know that on video conferences, human attention spans are much shorter than they are in face-to-face meetings. You can stay in one modality, listening to somebody speak, for between 5 and 10 minutes. So, Jeff, if you're trying to concentrate for longer than that in a video conference environment, you can't, you won't. You will need to practice some of these tips. Now, you can listen continuously for 12 seconds. Now, the reason it's 12 seconds is you can listen 4 times faster than they can speak, and your brain will switch to another modality. So knowing that you'll be distracted, Jeff, that's okay. It's actually something that will help you recharge your listening batteries. So while you're in the dialogue, it'll be interesting where your orientation is. Some of us are deeply, deeply listening to the content, and some of us are deeply listening to the themes and patterns in what people say. Either orientation is completely useful for the conversation. But Jeff, my sense is you want some really simple strategies to help you reset your concentration. When you get lost in a conversation, notice the color of the speaker's eyes. It'll be a really simple way for you to reset your attention. Second one, drink a glass of water or have a sip of water or touch the glass with the water in the meeting. And then number 3 is, are you physically moving in your chair? Or if you're standing up, are you moving around? I think a big tip to recharge our listening batteries that most people don't consider is their physical presence. In a video conference, when I'm a participant, it's not unusual for me to mute my camera and mute my microphone and just move in my chair or stand up and walk around the room and then come back into the conversation when my concentration is reset. Now, these really practical tips are all about the physicality of your body, Jeff. And it's really critical that you have this platform in place. I'm Oscar Trimboli, and along with the Deep Listening Ambassadors, we have the most comprehensive book about how to listen in the workplace called How to Listen. Jeff, we go through this in enormous detail in one of the chapters of the book, where we talk about the difference between giving attention and paying attention. This is about the level of your concentration. I hope those practical tips about preparing, getting your body and your mind ready before you get into the conversation, and then in the conversation itself, have a reset strategy, know you'll be distracted, use water to hydrate your body, and then physically move either in the chair or get up out of the chair and move around. These will all help to reset your listening batteries. Finally, if you're stuck, ask for a timeout, ask for a pause. In a one-on-one conversation, it might just sound as simple as, look, could you just give me a moment to collect my thoughts if you don't mind? We've covered a lot, and I just want to put the pieces together. And this will just involve a moment of silence between you and the other speaker. In a group setting, you may request a timeout so that you can recollect your thoughts as well. And great hosts in meetings will notice when people's attention is in a different place. So if you're putting meetings together, think about how you can use reset strategies every 10 to 15 minutes, whether that's an opportunity for people to go and have a conversation with each other in a group meeting, or in a video conference context, there might be the use of the chat, a breakout room, or playing a video. We've outlined the strategies for video in our white paper, How to Listen on a Video Conference, the ultimate guide. You can find that at oscartrimboli.com/video conference. Along with the Deep Listening Ambassadors, we're on a quest to create 100 million deep listeners in the world, and you've given us the greatest gift of all. You've listened to us. Thanks for listening.